Good evening and welcome into the U Show week number 5. Ezra Gennello along with you this evening, Tuesday evening. The U Show week 5 of the USHL has come and gone. It was an exciting week. We'll talk about promotions. We'll talk about the play on the ice, the things surrounding the ice, the statistics, the standings, the top plays. We're going to talk about all of it, and then we're going to take a look ahead at week 6 coming up in the USHL. This evening here on the U Show. We really appreciate you tuning in with us this evening. So without further ado, let's get into week 5. And what did we see? Well, we saw a lot of promotions. And now for background information on why promotions are so big here on the U Show, it's because promotions are big with me. Before I made my way to the USHL and on the microphone for USHL games on Flow Hockey, I was on the microphone in minor league baseball as a promotions assistant and on-field host at the AA level and the MLB Draft League. I love promotions. I love the game day atmosphere. And I think that a lot of teams, all the teams in the USHL, all 16 of them, do a great job of building those promotions and building the game day atmosphere so that you're not just coming to the rink and catching some awesome, great hockey, but you're catching some fun times too. We had some great promotions in the USHL last week. Some great promotions that benefited the local communities as well. You see the Pink in the Rink jerseys in Cedar Rapids on Saturday night. Proceeds from that jersey auction went to the Nassif Community Cancer Center. Same night, Saturday, in Sioux City, though, it was the Musketeers wearing special jerseys that benefited the Unity Point St. Luke's Oncology Unit out there in Sioux City. But it wasn't all about cancer on Saturday night. How about in Chicago this weekend, Women in Sports Night? Kendall Coyne Schofield of the Minnesota Frost dropping the ceremonial puck drop before the game. And then the slowest 2 minutes in sports, depending on who you ask, I think it's the final 2 minutes of a basketball game. In Chicago, it's all about the turtle races. Sally Mae picking up the win in the slowest 2 minutes in all of sports, the turtle races going on in Chicago. Last week we had a lot of fun in the promotional calendar. We're going to have a lot of fun this weekend as well. Over in Green Bay on Saturday, it is heavy metal and horror night at the Resch Center. If you ask me about music and hockey, I go to the early 2000s EA NHL games. That heavy metal really gets you in the mood. The pregame music in the locker room when you're a kid and dad's on the aux. The Resch Center, they're bringing the vibes on Saturday night. And then over in Muskegon, it's Flannel Fest weekend. Week 6 in the USHL, the Lumberjacks finally make their long-awaited debut at Trinity Health Arena. They did $4.5 million in renovations, new locker rooms, offices, training facilities, and all. And they get to christen the new facilities with games against the Chicago Steel. The party starts at 4 p.m. before the game on Western Avenue. They shut down the road. They'll have live music from Let There Be Rock, a AC/DC tribute band, axe throwing, a video game trailer, food and drinks from their local partners in Muskegon. So 2 really, really fun promotions coming up in the USHL this coming weekend over at the Resch Center in Green Bay with Heavy Metal Night and Horror Night, and then in Muskegon with Flannel Fest weekend as they take on the Chicago Steel. But on the ice, that's where the meat and potatoes come in the USHL. We're so proud of all of our players and goalies, and we had a really great week 5. Some big storylines to keep your eyes on going into week 6. Lincoln, they stayed hot. They swept the Youngstown Phantoms on the road. The Phantoms, they did have a good weekend, though. A couple guys found the back of the net, including Adam Bennock, a top prospect for the 2025 NHL Draft, turning heads for the Phantoms in Youngstown. But it was the Lincoln Stars who left the Covelli Center with 4 points on the weekend sweep. How about the Madison Capitals? We'll talk more about them when we talk about players of the week. But how about 16 goals in 2 games against Chicago? Riker Lee exits week 5 with a 5-game point streak, while Diego Johnson, he holds on to a 4-game goal streak for the Madcaps. And Grant Dillard, he's also on a streak. 4-game goal streak for Grant Dillard of the Omaha Lancers. Another team that we can talk about in Players of the Week. Actually, let's talk about it right now. Your forward of the week for
it now.
week 5, Igor Barabanov.
They can't get it.
3 games,
it's coughed up.
7 points,
Barabanov again.
Up
high. He roofs it. The puck is in.
With a +8 rating.
Looking for point 4. He's got long
Madison,
shot.
They had
blocked, but got it back. 5-hole
Week 5.
and score on the
16
rebound.
goals
Too
over
much.
The Chicago Steal. They also have the defenseman of the week, Charlie Michaud. 3 games,
Scores!
5 points as a
Charlie
defenseman.
Michaud!
+4. Look at that. Big
From the
blast
point.
from the blue line for Michaud.
Steele need a change behind the play.
Weekend.
Pumped ahead, and Aiden Long has enforcement
in
here.
Omaha. Second week in a row. It's a Lancer. This time, Mikhail Yegorov, the draft pick of the New Jersey Devils. 2-0 on the weekend, a .983 save percentage, 1 shutout mixed in, a big 5-0 shutout for the Lancers over the Dubuque Fighting Saints, the reigning Eastern Conference champs. Though the Saints, they picked up a big win of their own the next night, staying atop the USHL standings. Let's take a look at the schedule in Week 5 and all the games going on in Week 5 in the USHL. That's the Blackhawks paying a visit to the Fargo Force on Thursday. The Force picking up the win 3-2. Then on Friday, a full 8-game slate in the USHL. The Lumberjacks commanding win 7-2 over the NTDP. Sioux Falls 7-5 over the visiting Tri-City Storm. But how about the Madison Capitals? 10-2 on the road in Chicago. At home at the Bob Souters Legacy 20 Arena, Middleton. 10-2 over the Steel. Saturday, 7 games in the USHL. We talked about Dubuque, a big bounce-back win on the road at the Mid-American Energy Company Recplex in West Des Moines, Iowa, 6-0 over the Buccaneers. The Lumberjacks picked up their weekend sweep over the 17s for nothing. And then the Musketeers, they picked up a 2-0 win over the Gamblers. 1 game on Sunday, it was the Steel that fell 5-4 to the Des Moines Buccaneers, ending their skid. So it was a great week in the USHL. We take a look at how the players on an individual level fared, and we'll say they did pretty well. Jack Pekar, 11 points, tied up with his teammate and linemate Daniel Schlane, leading the USHL. Bobby Cowan and Diego Johnson tied for third with 10 points each, alongside Eric Wittenbach of the Sioux Falls Stampede. Tate Pritchard and Landon Gunderson, 2 linemates in Sioux City. Pritchard leads the league in goals with 6, tied up with Grant Dillard, who's on that 4-game goal streak. And Landon Gunderson leading the league in assists with 8, ahead of the defenseman in Dubuque, Josh Niedermeyer. And we get to see some different colors in the plus-minus category this week. Igor Barabanov, he leads the USHL at +11, alongside his teammate Stout with +10. Alex Rybakov, the Week 1 Defenseman of the Week, at +9. Liam Hupka, Matthew Desiderio, and Daniel Schlane round it out. We're going to take a quick step aside and send things over to our official live stream partner in the USHL, Flow Hockey. When we come back, we take a look between the pipes, the top goaltenders in the USHL here on The U Show.
Welcome to the United States Hockey League.
Puck comes back out. Levshunov skating down. Nice move! And a goal!
Just spectacular.
That's what an all-USHL player does when the lights shine the brightest.
Celebrini, Finley, cuts in.
Welcome back into the U Show. We promised you a look in between the pipes, the goaltending leaders in the USHL. Among qualified goaltenders, so you have to have at least 60 minutes played so far this season. Samuel Urban in Sioux City leads the league alongside Jan Shostak of the Lincoln Stars with 5 wins. Caleb Heil, Shika Gadziev, and Gavin Moffett with 4 wins each. 7 goalies around the USHL have 3. Then it's Slavic in the pipes for the Fargo Force, a 1.0 goals against average and .962 save percentage. Shostak in second of both those categories, 1.28 and .949. Harrison Benninger and Shika Gadziev flip-flop in the GAA and save percentage categories. And then over in the shutout, it's Shika Gadziev, Jan Shostak, and Gavin Moffett who pace the USAHL netminders with 2 shutouts so far this season. Slavic, Spoonar, and 5 other goalies, each with a shutout to their name as well. We take a look now at the top plays in the USHL from Week 5. Coming in at number 5, there's Grant Dillard, 4-game goal streak, catching a pass on the near side and moving forehand, backhand to help Omaha to a win. They've won 4 straight games. We'll talk about that when we take a look at the standings. Up at 4, it's Mikhailo Danilov. dancing on his own. You know that song, the Phillies win song from the playoffs? Alone on the breakaway. Also, forehand, backhand, back to the forehand, helping Green Bay out to the early lead. Owen Lendak, we love our goalies here in the USHL. In the splits across the crease, wins the race to the near side post to take away the wraparound opportunity. Then it's the Dubuque Fighting Saints. Second time this year they've been in the top 5 plays. Both times for pretty passing plays. How about that? Tic-tac-toe. Front of the back of the net, a commanding win for the Saints on the road in Dubuque. But the number 1 play of Week 5, Eric Wittenbach of the Herd. Talk about tight angle, short side high from below the circle. Eric Wittenbach, come on, that's not fair. Helping the Sioux Falls Stampede to an impressive weekend back in Week 5. So your top 5 plays of the USHL in Week 5. We take a trip now to the standings, right? You can be flashy, but they don't ask about how you score. They just ask how many. And some teams, they've scored more than others. How about the Lincoln Stars? 16 points in the USHL, leading the league, leading the Western Conference. They've scored a lot of goals. Daniel Schlane doing a lot of the goal scoring for the Stars. They're followed by Sioux City and Waterloo, tied up for second. Fargo in sole possession of fourth. Sioux Falls, then Omaha, riding a 4-game win streak. 8 points tied up with Tri-City. And the Des Moines Buccaneers round out the Western Conference. Over on the eastern side of things, Madison and Dubuque tied up for the first spot in the Eastern Conference. Muskegon in sole possession of third. It's Green Bay in fourth. Cedar Rapids, Chicago, and the NTDP in the next positions. And then it's the Youngstown Phantoms who round out the Eastern Conference. We are flying through the U Show tonight. So let's take a look around the USHL. Let's slow down a little bit and let's savor some of this, right? We got a good weekend of games coming up. Week 6 in the USHL. All of the games can be found on the official live stream partner of the USHL. There are some games that we at the USHL League office are keeping our eyes on. Of course, all of them. Whichever one you choose, you're going to get a great game. But there's some that are exciting to watch. Let's take a look at the Week 6 schedule. All games in the USHL on the official live stream partner, Flow Hockey, on Friday. We've got 7 games. Sioux City visits the Youngstown Phantoms. The Steel visit the Lumberjacks as part of Flannel Fest weekend. The NTDP in Dubuque. Lincoln plays host to the Storm. The Capitals are playing host to the Cedar Rapids Rough Riders, while Fargo heads to Omaha. That's a game you're going to want to watch. Fargo, 7-game homestand through the first 5 weeks. They went 4-2-0-1 in those 7 games. They head into Omaha, who are riding a 4-game win streak. The Lancers looking to protect home ice over in Nebraska, Des Moines. They pay a visit to the Waterloo Blackhawks. Then on Saturday, the 26th, the games we're looking out for: Des Moines, they're playing host to the Sioux Falls Stampede. They're back at home at the Mid-American Energy Company Recplex. We also have some Cowbell Cup games too. How about Cedar Rapids and Waterloo later in the slate? The NTDP and Fighting Saints, they close out their weekend series. So do the Storm and Stars, the Steel and Lumberjacks. A Battle of Wisconsin comes on Saturday night. Madison and Green Bay. The last time those two teams met, it was a 5-2 win in favor of the Madcaps. They'll look to pick up another win on the road at the Rush Center. Heavy metal night, horror night at the Rush Center. It's going to be a fun time for the black and yellow. Then on Sunday, 1 game in the USHL. The Omaha Lancers pay a visit to the Sioux Falls Stampede. No matter what game you choose to watch, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, if you turn on all 7 or 8 games on the night, that's good with us too. But they're all going to be entertaining. All of them can be found on the official live stream partner of the USHL, Flow Hockey, and of course for free on the Lumberjacks Hockey Network on Mixler. There's one thing we didn't do yet. We haven't heard from our forward of the week, Igor Barabanov, who earlier today caught up with the voice of the Caps, Drew Steele, back at the Bob Suter Legacy 20 Arena in Middleton. Let's take a listen to what Igor Barabanov, the USHL forward of the week, had to say in his interview with Drew Steele, voice of the Capitals.
All right, we welcome Igor Barabanov onto the show here. Igor, 7 points on the weekend, 3 games with the Caps. We'll start with the 7 points. The 3 assists on Friday here on a part of a 10-goal game for Madison. How was Friday night for you? We'll start with Friday.
Yeah, it was great. Team played great, dominated the whole game. Got my assists thanks to my line mates.
Can't complain about a 10-goal game. Tied a franchise record on that one. And then on Saturday, team comes out looking for the sweep. First sweep of the season was accomplished. 6-4 victory. 3 goals and an assist for you in that one. The line was just buzzing.
Yeah, our line played great that game.
Just with your success overall early on this year, you played wing your first game and then moved to center here this past weekend. Do you prefer to play one or the other?
Yeah, I prefer center. Coach Brandt asked me which one I was more comfortable with.
Do you kind of look at your line mates differently? Does it just help playing up that middle of the ice for you?
Yeah, I just feel like I have the puck on my stick more playing center, and I can help on both ends of the ice, so I like playing center more.
Your transition from Sioux Falls to Madison, obviously you're acquired earlier here this month. In just your third game with Madison, you have a 7-point weekend. Can't complain about that, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's been good for Igor Barabanov here joining us here on the show. Drew Steele, voice of the Capitals, helping out with the interview as well. With the transition, was there anything that kind of fit in well where it was like, hey, this is more opportunity, more anything like that for you?
Yeah, definitely more opportunity. I have more ice time here. Yeah, it's been great. I like my line mates. I like all the guys on the team. I like the coaches.
Penn State, that's where you're heading to college. What was kind of the fit there with the Nittany Lions?
Yeah, I just really like the school, like the environment there, so committed there.
Works out. Going down the rest of the season here with the Capitals, what's kind of your projection for both yourself, like a goal or anything like that for both yourself and the team?
I mean, my biggest goal is just to win the Clark Cup with the team. That's the only big goal I have for the season, and then obviously I have a couple personal goals too.
Yeah, can you touch on the personal goals a little bit?
Just to have success, keep producing, helping my team win.
Found yourself on the power play, kind of hit on that wing there. Is that where you like to play on the power play? Is there a better spot for you? You're on your strong side there on the left side of the power play, right?
Yeah, that's probably my better side. That's where I like playing more, and we've been trying out guys in different spots, so I don't know where I'll be this weekend.
Yeah, mixing things up throughout the season. You can't really complain on that side. Igor, we appreciate you joining us here, and congrats on being named the USHL Forward of the Week.
Yep, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no worries.
So welcome back into the U Show. We got to hear from Igor Barabanov. A big thank you to Drew Steele, the voice of the Capitals over in Madison. I lost my notes, but there's one thing I can tell you without any notes, and that is that there are so many talented voices around the USHL. Drew Steele, one of them in Dubuque. You have Josh Starr, another talented broadcaster. Matt Libsack, the voice of the Phantoms. And that's why I say, no matter what game you choose to watch in the USHL on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, even Thursday some weeks, you're going to get a great broadcast. You're going to get a great viewing experience. Some promotional nights, Flannel Fest in Muskegon this weekend, heavy metal night and horror night at the Resch Center for the Gamblers in Green Bay this weekend. You're going to get great broadcasting. You're going to get great hockey. You're going to get great everything on the official live stream partner of the USHL, Flow Hockey. But for now, we're going to let you get back to your Tuesday night. We appreciate you tuning in to the U Show. Don't forget to tune in to the Lumberjacks and the rest of the USHL this weekend. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday on Flow Hockey. And then we'll see you next week right here at the same exact time, 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central, the U Show on YouTube Live. Ezra Gennello along with you. We enjoy hanging out with you on Tuesday nights. We hope to see you next week, too. Thanks so much. We'll see you over the weekend.